What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley. For those who are new here, hello and welcome. And for all of my returning subscribers, hey girl. So today I did some things that I ought not to had, but we got to get a few things done. So I just wanted to turn on the camera, share with you guys what I have going on, and just get busy. First things first, I wanted to share with you guys a beautiful plant that I picked up, and I got it half off because sis was underwatered and like very much neglected. So it doesn't look its best, but this was a find that I was excited to pick up. And so I just wanted to share with you guys really quick. It is let me see, sterling silver. Right now I have it soaking in some water. Hopefully that'll kind of revive the plant, but let me get you guys a better angle. All right, so this is what I picked up. Again, this is a sterling silver. And as you can see, the leaves are all curled up. Like I said, it was completely underwatered. And so right now I'm having it soak up in some water. Hopefully that'll help it rebound. I did trim back a few of the leaves already, but once the water like penetrates and does what it needs to do, I'll trim away anything else that needs to be let go. But this was originally $20 at Lowe's with the pot, and I got it half off. So I got it for $9. I thought that was, pretty decent. This isn't a plant that, I've seen many places. So like I said, once I seen it, I was like, it's a little dead. So let me see if I can get a good price on it. And I asked for a discount and they gave me one. So hopefully I'll be able to revive this plant, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. And then I also picked up another shop light to put on my grow station. So let's head down to my basement first, get everything that we need to get done down there, and then we will, continue on with the process. All right, so this is what we are currently looking like. As you can see, this bottom one is much smaller than the other lights, which is why I picked this one up. And I just picked this up from Menards. I think it was like 19 bucks. But you guys, look. We have pepper plants up. Finally, I need to give these all a really good watering. I did end up sowing some eggplants as well. I did not do that on camera, but you can see I have a couple of those up. My onions, I don't know. I feel like the shallots aren't doing too well, but all the other ones are doing all right. I do need to get a fan down here, so these seedlings are like, nice and hardy, or not hardy, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, you can see my brassicas here. They're kind of leggy. This light, I put something up underneath the trays to like lift it closer to the light. That way it's not as leggy, but I'm going to have to pot all of these anyway. So I'll just bury the legginess down. My kohlrabi is up, as well as like some of my other brassicas. So I have some Casper Kale, Yodfa, and Pak Choi in the back there. So everything is looking good. And on this bottom rack, I have just been keeping like some of the house plants that I've been picking up, just making sure that I quarantine these, making sure I'm not introducing like any like spider mites or any other pest issues on, or I'm not trying to introduce those to the rest of my plants. But like I said, what I want to do is I want to switch this light out. I think I'm going to put this smaller light upstairs. I'm thinking about putting a station up to like grow some microgreens. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet, but I know I want to utilize this whole shelf. So I'm using this guy to, make sure I have full coverage down here. All right, so I grabbed the wrong thing. Wasn't thinking clearly. I'm going to have to take this light back and exchange it for one of these. When I looked at the box, it looked like it was 2 rows of lights. Like it looked like it would be wide enough. But obviously not. I need to pay more attention. So I'm going to take this back and get a larger light. I think I was being cheap, but that's okay. So that's no biggie. I'll eventually have to make my way back to Menards anyways, because I am waiting for them to get like pots and everything like that. So we are just gonna drop all of these items back in the box, and I will return these things. But for now, like, my light, it functions. Well, this light functions just fine for me for what I'm using it for now. I would just like to eventually have more space down here at the bottom, like I said, to utilize the full, shelf. But I will say this is also LED, and the good thing about LED is it's bright enough to where you don't have to have things like super close. So this suffices for now. Like I said, it's just like a little housing unit for my newer plants as I acclimate them to my home and my new space, or their new space. All right, so what I needed to get into next, I wanted to take advantage of this beautiful day that we have outside and direct sow a few seeds. Direct outside, and then I also wanted to try the winter sowing method. So I have been collecting water jugs, and we're going to fill these up and going ahead and set those outside today, just out by the garden. I'll take you guys on a quick walk over there. So let's first start with the winter sowing in these guys, because then once we go outside, we can direct sow our seeds, and yeah. So let's do that. All right, so I went on ahead and gathered up all of the bottles that I will be using, and I will go over everything that I had to do to prepare these. If you guys have not seen this method before, this is not a method I came up with. Actually, Laura from Garden Answers, I seen her do it a few years ago, and I've always been interested. So the first thing you want to do, poke some holes at the bottom, obviously for drainage, and then you want to split this in half and just leave like a little bit of a margin, just so you can, pull it back and cover it back up, type of thing. So let's do that really quickly. So there we have it. Hopefully you guys can get a good view of that. So now, obviously, we need to fill this up with potting soil, or better yet, I believe seed starting mix would be like perfect for this. Because you still want to give it that like loose texture in the vessel. So let's see, I'm going to put this underneath, that way I don't make a mess. I finally bought a little mini scoop, so when I'm doing these sort of projects, I don't make as much of a mess. And yeah, I just thought it'll make my life just a tad bit easier. Going ahead and add some seed starting mix, and this is pretty much already moist. It does have worm castings in here, so yes, that is how we will go on ahead and fill the rest of these. And you do not need the lids for these, because you want to be able to allow these to water naturally, because we will be storing all of these outside. All right, so I have 4 containers here, and I think I will use, let's use some of these markers to put inside. I thought about just writing the variety outside, but I don't think that's a good idea. So let me pull out some of these that have no writing on them. All right, so let's talk varieties and what will be best growing in these. So from my understanding, the winter sowing method using these guys, number one, you are putting them in these containers because it's creating a greenhouse effect. But the varieties that do best, and again, this is just my understanding, this is my first time doing this, I am no expert, but I hear that it's best to use like either perennials or cool hardy crops. So in this case, I am only planting flowers in here. My goal this year is to beautify my garden and put a lot more perennials and not so many annuals. So I did pick up some perennial seeds. This is my first time starting flower seeds outside of like zinnias or sunflowers, and those are like beginner friendly as it comes. So I've never grown perennial flowers from seeds, so this is completely brand new for me. So this is a trial. So if this completely fails, you know, no love lost, right? So I went on ahead and I picked up some foxglove, which I think will be so gorgeous in my front flower beds, just adding some more like blooms and all of that good stuff. So I picked up those. I got some salvia, and these are the blue better sage varieties. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty good. I'm kind of in my lighting over here. And then I just got some black-eyed Susans, and then some Shasta daisies. I need a lot more perennials in my front flower beds, but I will also sprinkle some of these along my side beds of my backyard. So we are going to go on ahead and get our markers all prepared, and we will start our sowing. All right. So let's just push this to the back. First, let's start with our foxglove. Just gonna put that boom right there. And I'm just gonna follow the instructions on the back of the seed packet. So it says that it takes 7 to 14 days to germinate. The depth is 1/8 of an inch. And the spacing is 24 inches. It gets up to 4 feet tall, etc. So let's see. All right, let's just go for it. I'm not about to overthink this, because if I do, I just won't do it. And I want to do this because I want more flowers and I don't want to pay an arm and a leg. Starting things from seed, which has been like a major proponent of like the things that I'm trying to do in my garden. It can be a really expensive hobby to want to garden, and like especially with flowers and everything like that. This is like sealed really crazy. So I figured if I can start more flowers from seeds, start more perennials, I think it will be a really good thing. So these seeds, oh my gosh. Come on out, boo. Come on down. Y'all, these are the tiniest seeds. It looks like dust. Hopefully you guys can see. Look how itty bitty that is. Holy crap. So obviously we're gonna be sowing these like pretty thick, which is fine. I mean, let the strongest man win. So that's all I'm gonna do with these. And maybe I'll start some indoors as well, because this is quite a lot of, like, this is a lot of seed. So I don't even think, all I'm gonna do is just press these in, because they're so itty bitty. I'm afraid if I bury them too deep, it's not gonna be cute. So I'm just gonna press them in. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty good. Well, I know you ain't gonna see them seeds, child, because they itty bitty, but they're all in there, good to go. There we go. All right, so I had to fix my lighting because the shadow that was being cast was not cute. But moving on, let's go on ahead and keep this going. Let's bust open this salvia. So where is goes my marker for this? And I picked these markers up from Dollar Tree, child. All right, so 14 days to germinate, depth 1/4 of an inch, spacing 12 inches, height is 36 to 48 inches. And yeah, so let's go on ahead and open this guy up. See how itty bitty these seeds are. If they're 1/4 of an inch depth that it needs to go down, I'm assuming these aren't like as small as they come. All right, so I'm just going to get a decent amount out. I'm not going to count how many seeds, but here are what the seeds look like. Hopefully you guys got a good view of that. They kind of remind me or put me in mind of like brassica seeds. All right, so we are just going to sprinkle these over top of this soil. And that's it. I'm not going to put every single one in there because I'm hoping that these will germinate well. So I'm just going to kick the soil around just a little bit to make sure we have a little bit of coverage. Tamper them down and done. All right, now let's mess around with these black-eyed Susans. I feel like this soil level can be a little higher, but I'm not gonna try. All right, so all of these, I don't know if I mentioned the seed company is Fairy Morse. You can pick these up in most retailers that sell seeds. I want to say Home Depot for sure, Lowe's for sure. I picked these up from Lowe's. All right, so I didn't read the back first. So 10 to 14 days to germinate, 1/8 of an inch depth, spacing 12 to 15 inches, height 2 to 3 feet. All right, so these are also a little smaller. And they're like, you know, long. They look like, I don't know what a good term is. They're long. They're like little sticks. So hopefully you guys can see those pretty good. Let's sprinkle a few across the soil here. I'm really excited to try this out because like I said, like I want all the flowers this year without having to pay a buku amount for flowers. I've been watching Garden Answer and Garden Addicts like an addict all winter long because I really want to step up my flower gardening game up. I want to step it up, honey. All right, so boom, black-eyed Susans, good to go. And lastly, Shasta daisies. So I'm going to try these in 2 different ways as well. I have 2 packets. I think this is what I had in mind. I want to sow directly outside, and I also want to try this method and just see which one works best. So let's go ahead and stick our marker in. And the information on here is 15 to 21 days to germinate. Depth of sowing is 1/4 of an inch. Seed spacing 1 to 2 inches. Growing height is 2 to 2.5 feet. And again, all of these flowers that I am starting in these are perennial. So no annuals in here, not for this round, child. All right, and these look again like those. Oh, okay, there's not a whole lot of seeds in this. And I picked these up from Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree's seed packets are 4 for $1. So if you really want to do things on a really tight budget, obviously you won't get the widest variety, but you know, these are all still beautiful flowers. So here goes what the seeds look like. Again, like those longer flat seeds. And I'm putting all of these babies up in here. Like, why the heck not? It's not many in the seed packet, so we're just gonna throw them all in, child. kick a little bit of this soil around, tamper everything down. All right, and that is it. I need to get some tape to put around the sides to seal these up. So I'm going to do that really quickly, and then we are going to go outside to place these and also plant or direct sow some of our seeds. So I don't think I actually went over the things that I want to direct sow. So like I said, I do want to try doing the Shasta daisies like direct as well. So some of those, I have some milkweed, which is like the butterfly flower. Monarch butterflies really like these, and obviously I want to welcome them into my garden. So I picked up some of those. I picked up the botanical interest seed pack. I picked these up from my local nursery. I believe you guys seen my haul of that. And then poppies, they say, are best to sow right now, right over top of the snow, because naturally that's what nature will do, is like, you know, the seeds will get distributed however, and from the birds or whatever, and they'll come up when they need to come up. So I have 2 different varieties here. These ones are from M.I. Gardner. They are the Red California, which I thought was just stunning with the little red or yellow eye in the middle. And then Sally's Double Pink, which are from Fruition Seeds. Look how gorgeous, darling, lush, honey, lush. So I'm really excited about these because just look how fluffy they are. My gosh. So these are all the seeds that I'm going to direct sow. So like I said, I'm going to seal these up really quick and we will be outside. All right, you guys, I had to clear some space off of my phone because I ran out of space. But we are all done here. I thank you all so much for stopping by. Sorry for the crazy lighting as we close this out, but I wish you all health, wealth, and prosperity. And until the next time, peace out.